I'm going to explain to you how things used to work in the past so that you can understand how they're different now. Or you can pay Amazon a placement fee in order to have all of your items sent to one specific fulfillment center. And so if your product is not selling any units and it's just sitting there essentially taking up space and collecting dust, Amazon is going to start charging you for that. Yes, we are going to have to pay that increased amount in tariffs on these imported goods, but in the long term, these costs are just going to be passed on to the customer on the back end. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you 3 different fees and things to be aware of when you are selling on Amazon. Now, Amazon does make changes to its fee structure periodically, so it's very important to be aware of these changes so that you are prepared and you know what to do when you start selling on the Amazon platform. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed so that you're notified whenever I post another video, and go ahead and like this video if it's helpful to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about are placement fees, and I'm going to explain to you how things used to work in the past so that you can understand how they're different now. When I first started selling on Amazon in 2019, the way that it worked when you were ready to send in your inventory to Amazon is that you would first complete this step, and the step is creating a shipment plan. The shipment plan essentially just tells Amazon how many products you are planning to send in, how many units are in each box, and just the metrics and dimensions of the sizes of the box, the weight of the box, and other details so that Amazon knows what is coming and how to prepare for it. Similar to the way that Amazon does it now, they are the ones who determine where your products are going to be received. So that means that when you're communicating with your supplier and letting them know where the products are going, you won't know that until you create that shipment plan through your Amazon seller account, and then Amazon will tell you where the products need to be sent. Back then, Amazon would assign you either one fulfillment center or they might assign you multiple fulfillment centers, depending on what you were sending in, how large it was, and just where it would make the most sense logistically for them to have your products stored across the US. And just so you guys know who aren't familiar, the way that it works with Amazon is that when they receive your products that are shipped from your supplier from overseas in China or wherever the products are coming from, what they will do is they will receive the products in one or a few fulfillment centers, and then they will go through the process of dispersing your products across the United States. And I'm just using the US marketplace as my example. But what they will do is they will go ahead and determine where the product will sell the fastest, and they're going to go ahead and ship your products to those different fulfillment centers so that they are prepared when a customer places an order and they're able to get the product to the customer quickly. I will say that in the past, I never was assigned to more than one fulfillment center. Anytime I sent in my inventory to Amazon, they always only ever gave me one address in which to send my products, but I do know people, even back then, who were assigned to multiple fulfillment centers. And a lot of times what would happen then is that the person who was creating the shipment plan entered in the numbers incorrectly, which had Amazon thinking the product was either oversized or that there were just a large volume of items coming in to where they couldn't receive them all in one place. But a lot of times that was just user error. Amazon used to have the process be a little bit simpler for sellers because the vast majority of the times, especially if you were ordering smaller quantities of product, and when I say smaller quantities, I'm saying anything under 1,000 would generally be considered, a smaller quantity. Keep in mind, there are sellers on Amazon who do tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of units in a month. And so in relation to that, 500, 1,000 units is relatively small. And so in that instance, Amazon would just get them all received in one place. I remember back then the Dallas warehouse or the Dallas fulfillment center was very popular, where they would send a lot of products from newer sellers. And so that's where I always used to send my products. Now, the way that things have changed now is that Amazon will either give you the option to send your products to multiple fulfillment centers, and usually it's 3 or 5, and you can either do that for free, but it's going to cost you more on the back end with your supplier or with your freight forwarder because they are going to charge you more to have to deliver to multiple places rather than sending all of your inventory to one singular destination. And so you can either do that where Amazon will not charge you anything, or you can pay Amazon a placement fee in order to have all of your items sent to one specific fulfillment center. This fee from Amazon is typically $100 to $200 from what I have seen, but it could vary depending on the size of the product. And what you're going to want to do is compare what the cost would be with your supplier in order to send all the products to those multiple different locations. They'll be able to kind of give you a little bit of a quote on what that will cost on that side versus what Amazon would charge you to just send everything to one place. That way you can compare and contrast and then just pick which one is going to be more cost effective. From my experience and from what I've seen from the students in my step-by-step Amazon program, it's almost always more effective to just pay Amazon that fee in order to have all of your products sent to one place. Yes, it's annoying. No, it's not the end of the world. And you'll be able to go ahead and have the convenience of knowing that your products are all going to arrive at the same place at the same time. And if you'd like to know exactly how to sell on Amazon step by step with video tutorials along with mentorship by me, you can go ahead and check out the details of my Amazon FBA program, the Savvy Seller FBA program, and that will give you everything you need to get started with launching a profitable product on Amazon. The second fee that I want to talk about are long-term storage fees. And these long-term storage fees are exactly what they sound like. It is a fee that Amazon charges you when your products have been sitting in the fulfillment centers for too long without moving. So when I say without moving, I mean that the product is not selling and it's just taking up space. And it's very understandable that Amazon would want to keep their fulfillment centers efficient and having only products in there that people are actually purchasing on a regular basis. And so if your product is not selling any units and it's just sitting there essentially taking up space and collecting dust, Amazon is going to start charging you for that. The good news is that they're not going to start charging you until 12 months or a year of your products being there. So realistically, if you follow the right steps in the videos that I show you on product research on this channel and in my step-by-step program, you should be able to pick a good product that will absolutely be done selling in 1 year. 1 year is a very long time for a product to sit without having any movement. So you definitely want to be careful with your product research so that you don't find yourself in a space where your products have been sitting for that amount of time. These long-term storage fees are calculated based on the volume per cubic foot of that product and how much space it actually takes up in the fulfillment center. So this is yet another reason why you want to go ahead and choose products that are smaller in size and have smaller dimensions, because the less space it takes up, the less you're going to pay in monthly storage fees. And then if for some reason you get to the point where you hit long-term storage fees, you'll also pay less because the product is taking up less space. And last but not least, I want to touch on the topic of tariffs. At this time, it seems that the president is imposing tariffs of 10% on imports from China. And I just want you guys to understand how tariffs actually work, because there's a lot of information in the media and a lot of people do not understand that tariffs are paid by the importers. So if there is a 10% tariff on China, that's not really a tariff on China, it's a tariff on the importers of Chinese goods. And of course, selling on Amazon with FBA, a lot of the products that third-party sellers are selling are coming from the platform Alibaba, which is a Chinese-based platform. Now, I don't want you to panic and think that you're just going to be paying an extra 10% and not going to be able to recuperate that money. The way that it's going to work for most businesses is that, yes, we are going to have to pay that increased amount in tariffs on these imported goods, but in the long term, these costs are just going to be passed on to the customer on the back end. And so what's going to happen is that when you are receiving your products and they're being shipped into the US, you're going to get charged that extra 10% on the cost of the goods, which of course is not fun. But at the end of the day, what you are going to do in order to supplement that and to make up for your extra costs is that you are going to increase your selling price on Amazon. And unfortunately, this is definitely going to affect customers more than anyone else. This does not hurt China. This does not hurt the sellers. This hurts the end customer. And as someone who sells on Amazon, I also am a consumer. I shop on Amazon. I purchase products from a lot of companies that are going to be affected by this new import implementation. So it's just going to be more expensive to shop for these goods that we're used to paying a certain amount for. And unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do about it, at least for the next 4 years. And so it is what it is. I would just say that if you are a customer, prepare to pay more for, the products that you shop for regularly. And for sellers, just know that you are probably going to have to pay a little bit more on the front end, but you will increase your prices in order to make up for that extra cost for you. And there you have it. it, my list of 3 things to look out for if you're launching a product in 2025 on Amazon. And hopefully you found that helpful and insightful. If you are looking to start selling on Amazon, I hope this video does not deter you from doing so. I just really want to make sure that you have all of the information and that you are as prepared as possible for these different things that are going to come along with it. Amazon is still a very lucrative opportunity if you are wanting to make money online. And I hope that this video helps you to not feel blindsided when you are getting started with selling on Amazon. So I'll go ahead and close out this video here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.